All of a sudden, the flame starts to flicker out of nowhere. There's no wind, there's no nothing. It starts to shake, almost like it's trying to move off the candle, and disappears. They heard sounds of wild animals that sounded very close to the point where his horse wouldn't budge no matter how much he whipped it. All of a sudden, he says, there was a little light, like a little candle. Okay, this story, first, I go to everybody.
Good vote.
And I feel like in Hanukkah, in Chodesh, wow, we had 3 Sefer Torah today. Incredible. Okay, so Reb Baruch of Mezhebush, this is a miraculous story. By him, Hanukkah was very, very holy. Chassidim would come just to light the Hanukkah candles with him. So, it's the first night of Hanukkah by Reb Baruch of Mezhebush, and they're singing, they sing an Eretz Lalo, and everyone's there in a very elevated, mood, and all of a sudden, the flame starts to flicker out of nowhere. There's no wind, there's no nothing. It starts to shake, almost like it's trying to move off the candle, and disappears. I don't know. Flame just disappears, and it didn't leave behind any smoke like regular one. It was as if it was never there.
Yo, jeepers.
Crazy. So now the Shamish sees that the light goes out. He goes, he wants to light it again, and the Baruch right away motions to him not to do it. No one understands why he's doing that. But they wait, and the Baruch is saying different, very deep things on Hanukkah, and they're singing Nigunim in between. Around midnight, they hear the screeching tires of a wagon. Somebody comes out. Somebody comes out of the wagon. Somebody walks into where they're for bringing. It was one of Reb Baruch's chassidim, and his clothes were torn. He was bleeding from his face. He looked like broken, but his face radiated a whole different vibe. His eyes were glistening. He was in a very elevated state of mind and state of heart. And he sits down, and after he gathers himself, and he starts telling what happened to him. He says, this year I was planning to come to Reb Baruch for the first night of Hanukkah. There's nothing like it. And this year, a snowstorm started. Yeah? It was a very big snowstorm. And I was worried that I wouldn't make it to Reb Baruch on time. And I said, you know what, I don't care. I'm going to just go through the snowstorm. And, this guy says, in hindsight, it was a bad idea. But I went through this epic snowstorm, and I was slowed down heavily, and a band of bandits found me. And now, these guys were sure if someone's braving this weather, it's because it's urgent. He has business, and he has probably some money hidden somewhere.
Or good goods.
Right, and so they grab him. They try to elicit a confession from him. What he says, and he says that this is not I'm not going for any money for any business. I'm going to see my Rebbe. And he tries to explain to them, and they're not buying it. They're like, "What are you talking about? Going to some rabbi? You're going to risk your life in a storm for some rabbi?" And they tried every single way of getting a confession out of him, including beating him to a pulp. And they dragged him to a cellar. And they waited for their chief to get back, or for their chief to not be busy, to come and speak to him. And he's sitting there waiting, and finally this chief comes in, and he speaks to him. And this guy tries his best to explain to him the joy of being by his Rebbe, for Hanukkah. He tries to really explain to him, like, this is the real legit thing. Like, I'm not any businessman. I have nothing on me. And the chief of the bandits, he realized this guy is telling stories. He was either impressed by by my faith, or he realized that I was telling the truth, because he wouldn't get any confession out of me.
This guy's nuts.
Right. And he said, you know what? You're free to go, but you should just know. And he tells him that your faith in your rabbi really it touched me. But you should know that this forest is even the most rugged people have not gotten through these thick forests, especially at night. So I'm going to let you go, and if you end up by some miracle making it out by the outskirts of town, by the signpost, there's a ditch on the side of the road. I want you to throw your handkerchief on the side of the road, and I have someone who I sent ahead, and one of my men, and he'll be waiting.
He'll escort you.
No, he's not going to escort him. He's going to wait to pick up the handkerchief, so he'll know.
Supposed to make sure the guy came out alive.
Text me when you get home.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, like he
Not
cares.
so positive.
No, but he said it, and he said that if you find this, if I see that, if I am brought back this handkerchief, then I'm actually going to dismiss all of my bandits, and I'm gonna start a new life.
That's even better than text when you get home.
Exactly. And now he's very scared because he just had this whole ordeal. He doesn't know if he's going to get out of there alive, but just the thought of being by the Rebbe gave him the strength to go. So anyway, so he goes outside and he's going on his horse. And in the beginning, he was able to get his horse to move, and they heard sounds of wild animals that sounded very close to the point where his horse wouldn't budge no matter how much he whipped it. All of a sudden, he says, there was a little light, like a little candle in front of them, and the horse just went and followed it. And wherever they went, it seemed that the animals were going away as if the flame was chasing them away. And they followed it all the way until out the forest, and they got to the outskirts of the town. He threw the handkerchief. The guy says, I threw the handkerchief as I promised. And that's how I made it here.
Wow.
And the Chassidim afterwards looked back at the menorah. They didn't notice until they looked back at the menorah. The flame was right back on the menorah as if it never left. And the Chassid said, who knows, maybe all this will bring back, these sinful bandits. Maybe they're going to, do tshuva. Anyway, this is an incredible story. All of Baruch's stories are amazing. And we should see miracles in our lives without the hardships. Just open miracles. And without exactly, and we should have Mashiach before Hanukkah comes. We'll have the Chanukas HaMizbeach, and we should be able to light the menorah. Mashiach Tzidkenu. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the people who are here in flesh and blood. And please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps. It's free to like, and it helps. And
go to Spotify when we listen to the story for a week.
Please consider, press it very gently, and just make sure you press it, and consider becoming a patron on Patreon, because it allows me to continue what I'm doing.
She needs the money.
And hopefully I'll be able to go do this full time, and we'll have more good stuff. And I'll get someone to post stuff on Spotify.
Oh,
Anyway,
That's if you want more music.
enough. Huh? I do everything myself. But guys, thank you very much for Hanukkah. Be happy, and we love you.
Yassi's social, for those of you who are still with you, is
I'm still waiting for the part
415.
See how you're out of focus?
I ain't out of focus. You out of focus.
I can't put that on YouTube.
You could have black. And you black.
I'm gonna have to bleep it.
It's probably okay. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Just say something.
Something.
Let them all know you can listen on Spotify.
Yeah, go to Spotify. You'll be able to hear this about probably 4 weeks.
Smash the like button on Spotify.
On
No, Spotify.
Spotify, you just follow.
Rate it 5 stars.
Follow on social. All the socials.
Mwah. Azay.
For all those concerned, Yossi is very excited about the story. He's just... He did a line of cocaine and then just the story's gonna be awesome.
Guys, you have to say something that rhymes with cocaine, otherwise you get demonetized. Novocaine. I know.
Novocaine. Novocaine.
That's also a drug.
Demonetized means you're making money.
But it doesn't go towards monetization either.
Oh.
Like if a video is demonetized the hours, you can have like 1 million watch hours, it wouldn't matter.
Tonight is
Nittel.
Ooh, can you say a story?
It's nittel right now?
Yes,
Yes.
right now.
What the?
Yes, you definitely could say a story.
You can say stories.
Let's
no
just
problem.
play.
I don't know.
Yes, you
Yes,
can.
you can.
Rap that.
You could say a story.
Gibbs.
Sorry.
You're allowed to say a story. You're allowed to say a story.
He's playing him.
I was totally unaware that it was nittel. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Not giving
Friends, we are to live. We are to live. We are to live right away.
People were on the other one, but hopefully.
This is a Hakel event. Woo! One of the.
Sorry, you start.
Okay, Sha.
Why don't you start over?
the story.
You didn't listen. It's on you.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to watch on YouTube.
You have to watch it now.
I don't have you.
Go subscribe.
The Byron Bar.
Oh, the story. You guys want to start over for me? I'm like missing the first whole half of the story. I was like,
No,
ridiculous.
you missed
Missed
one
the first
thing.
and second.
Like literally,
And now I
it
missed
was a
more of it
woman.
because I was listening anymore.
Okay.
And I repeated.
First
it
night,
for you.
what a
He's gonna
master
say it.
manipulator.
He's gonna. Yes, he loves you.
First night, Baruch of Mezhebush, lighting a candle. The candle all of a sudden disappears out of nowhere. They want to relight it.
I heard this part.
That's the entire.
From now on, we have to have a camera on Mendy. I'm sorry, it's just too good for the bloopers. We're gonna have a. The
He
pay,
doesn't even do it on purpose. That's what's the funniest.
that's not on Mendy. We're gonna have one like right here, just like right out of the frame, you know. Sorry.
Are you Rich Dusty?
If you actually, sorry, I always do that. If you actually make,
Such a klutz, Yancy.
He's washing his hands in my cup of seltzer.
why so many disruptions? God. So let's have the story of Benahat, yeah? Okay.
Why you edited it anyway? Piece of crap.
Maybe he'll behave himself if he knows it doesn't get edited.
No.
Never ever, huh? Never.
Shame.